Okay, what we have here is a quick tutorial on the new Fingerworks 5 software menu. For those of you who have used Fingerworks 4 in the past, you'll see a lot of the buttons are similar and will have similar functions to what you saw before. The difference now is we've been able to create a lot more 3D tools. We've added the ability to put the tools on the screen in perspective. And we've also added the ability to mask and create a mask between the playing field, playing surface, and the players. So we still have all our typical tools that you've seen before in the past. There's a 3D arrow, there's still the arrows, those kinds of things. The clear button still has the same function, clears the entire screen. The erase button allows you to have multiple tools on the screen. You select erase. And now you can erase the tools in any order, not the same order that they were put on the screen, so that still works the same. The toolbar is a little bit different in that we used to tier our toolbar up and down and put a limit on it. Now, as you can see, the toolbar is basically a sliding scale that you can move from left to right or right to left, whichever way you want to look at it. And of course, the toolbar you're seeing here is pretty much got an example of all the new tools that we have in Fingerworks 5. I'm just going to go through a couple of those here before I move on to some of the other features in here. As of course, we've always got our freehand draw. We've created a 3D freehand draw. I'll come to that in a minute. We've got arrows. This is an arrow that's been the graphics was an animated graphic created by one of our customers, and we've turned it into our drawing engine so they can add create their own tool. This is one from another customer. The baseball and those kinds of things can be imported. We've got, as you can see, instead of just a standard X's and O's that go on the screen, we've got a beveled. We can add a beveled edge, give it a 3D imagery to it, that kind of thing. All the typical circles that you're used to seeing. Stretchy tools where you start in the middle and you pull a radius out for circles, that kind of thing. We've added some 3D images like as a crosshair, that type of thing that you can put on the screen. Animated dashed arrows, those types of things. Here's another one that's just included called a diamond arrow. We still have the multi-point draw where you can touch 3 points and draw a circle with, or a freehand draw with a arc to it. We still have the 4-point tool where you touch 4 points and you can create a tool. The move button that you're all used to, the move button still does the same feature. You can grab a tool after you put it on the screen and move it around. Here's a disc. Let's put a disc here and a disc here. Select move, and now you can grab the disc or any object and drag it around the screen afterwards. We've added animated golf flags for our golfing customers to identify where the hole is on that shot from behind the golfer. We still have our highlights that we've always had. Here's another animated arrow, as you can see. Oops. We've added number chips, so you can create your own number chips and color and size them, that type of thing. We have stretchy, all the objects now are stretchy, not just the circles. We've got squares and rectangles, that type of thing that you can touch and drag without letting go of the touch screen. We've got a vision cone, various vision cones that you can add to show a player's view of where he needs to attack the opposing team. Here's another one, another vision cone. And of course, we've still got our zoom tools where you can zoom in on sections of the field and that kind of thing. So this tool set, as you can see, is just one that gives you an example of most of our tools. We've got the point-to-point tools, that type of thing where you can draw. This is another animated point-to-point tool that we've created for the software. So Fingerworks 5 still works on a system of saved tool sets for individual users. In this case, I'm going to load another set called Demo 1 and play with that. Of course, we've got the freehand draw. We've got a tool called freehand draw 3D. As you can see, there's some texturing to it that makes it look like a 3D. We have the zoom circle. We have a highlight rectangle. We've got a stretchy arrow. Another stretchy arrow called diamond arrow. And the number chips. So again, any one of these tools can be sized and have text added to it, the color scheme changed, that type of thing. But I'm just going to start with the stretchy arrow, which is a well-used tool in Fingerworks 4, and just show you some of the things we can do with that. So if I pick stretchy arrow and put it on the screen, go into Edit Last, we've got a new subcategory here called Masking and Perspective. So it's got 3 options, and these options are for pretty much all the tools. Some of them don't have them because they don't make any sense to be over or under the players. But here's an on-screen version of that stretchy arrow. So you can see it's just in the 2D plane like you used to see in Fingerworks 4. You anchor it and you drag it to identify the players that you want to talk about in your replay. The other way to get into that again is Edit, which is whichever one is there. You go back into Masking and Perspective, and you pick Over Players. What this does now is it applies a perspective setting to it. So you can see that the stretchy arrow is now stuck to a grid of perspective on that's matching the playing field. And this can be adjusted. The perspective plane can be adjusted on a per user basis. The other option for stretchy arrow is under player. And what this does is it's now put the stretchy arrow to the right of the main toolbar. Here's your 6 tools that were on the main toolbar. Now the stretchy arrow is off on a little category here to itself. You can see the division here indicating that it's a 3D. So now when we put it on the field, we're actually going under the players. There's a mask being created between the players and the playing surface. And if you want to see the mask, hit this here and you can actually see the mask that's been created. There's going to be an application within Fingerworks 5 now where you actually set up your masking for the event, where you take samples of the background, sample of the players, and the algorithm will create a mask on any frame that you store during that game. So we come out of the mask, you can clear it, pick our stretchy arrow. Of course it goes under the players, and we can pick a highlight that this is the fellow that we want to talk about up here. So that's just that just gives you an indication of the 3 options that each tool can now have, whether it's just in the 2D plane, over the players with perspective, or under the players if we are in a situation where we can create masks that are reliable for the given sport. I'm going to go back in here and load another tool set called Demo 2. And again, this one's got that same freehand draw as one of them. It's got the three hand there. Now you can see this is in perspective. This freehand draw, the 3D freehand draw. If I go back to masking and perspective, it's set in the over players or perspective mode. I can go to under players, hit OK, and now it's moved it over here. And now, as you can see, the arrow is moving under the players. We've got a zoom circle in this one. Again, the zoom works just like a magnifying glass. You can drag it around the screen and size it. You can resize. You can go into the Edit Last, Size and Rotation, and you'll get a live preview of the size of the zoom tool in this case. Hit OK, and that'll be saved. This tool set also has a 3D arrow. Again, this is another one that can be in 2D perspective or in the under player mode and draw beneath the players and over the playing surface. Got another 3D test arrow here. This is similar to one I showed you before. Vision cone. So this is one where you can create a vision path for the player. Let's take it from number 27 where he's looking where he's going to run on this plate. Oh, picked the wrong tool. The vision cone. You can go into edit last here, masking and perspective. It's set in the over player mode right now. We go to under players. Now you can create a stretchy vision cone where he can look underneath the players, look out to where he's going to go, and have your announcer use that tool once the masking algorithm has been set up before the game. One other tool we have on this toolbar is a spotlight, so you can create spotlights over players, that kind of thing, if you want to highlight somebody. So one last tool set here to call up. It's called Demo 3. And this one again, freehand draw. There's another one with a dotted line and an arrow. Another example of the multi-point draw. Got a zoom rectangle on this tool set. We've got an animated circle here. Again, that one can be edited. Go to size and rotation. You can make it arrow, that type of thing. Another one we've got here is a stretchy grid. So here it is in the 2D mode. It's basically we've applied a grid. There's a do not go here kind of symbol. This one again has the same ability to go in the perspective mode over the players. So let's clear it. It's in the stretchy mode over the players. So these are the areas where the runner does not want to go or the quarterback does not want to throw. We can also go into this one, going to masking and perspective, go under the players, and now you've got the grid under the players. And the last one we've got in here is just another square that's got another type of animation on it. This one's already set in the under player mode, as you can see. This is basically you just dragging it into the shape you want it to be. So this would be a good one if you wanted to create the pocket area for the quarterback. This is the pocket that he doesn't want to break down from his offensive lineman blocking. One last feature I want to talk about here in this tutorial is a feature called rosters. This was in Fingerworks 4 and we've carried it forward into Fingerworks 5. The idea here is you're creating a home and visitor tool set. They get saved just like regular tool sets, so you can reuse them from week to week and game to game. In this case we're going to load roster demo 1 that we've created. It's got 4 players in the home team, 4 players in the visitors team, and we've linked a stretchy arrow. So any of the tools that are on the regular toolbar can be selected to go as a link tool here. The display for the roster tool set you see on the right hand side is the visitors, 4 players. You can be just the numbers, it can be just the names, or in this case we're going to go with numbers and names, and then you've called it up, so you select a couple of players that you want to discuss on this replay. And here's our visitor player that he wants to talk about. You can still use all the other tools that are on the tool set, put them in here as well. And once the announcer's described the action that's about to happen, you hit clear screen and then allow the replay to run and it'll show what he just described. The key thing about the roster elements here is this element here is imported from outside of Fingerworks. It's created in a computer graphics system, then imported. We can size it within Fingerworks. It can be animated or non-animated, and as I said before, any of the tools can be connected to it. So that's the rosters option, and there is a way here to turn load last roster on startup, so you can create your roster bar, tick this box, and it'll load every time you launch Fingerworks.